It is day 2 of the COP28 summit. We are here at the Dubai Expo City where the summit is happening. It's a big day here. You can feel the energy in the air. There's a rush for climate action. Today, leaders at COP28 met to decide what the future of climate action will look like. Some of them have given the summit a miss, like Chinese President Xi Jinping and US President Joe Biden. It's ironic given that these countries are the biggest polluters in the world. But the others are here. There's UK's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, Brazilian President Lula da Silva, Kenyan President William Ruto and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He arrived in Dubai yesterday for a short 21-hour visit with a packed schedule. There were 2 speeches today, 7 bilaterals and 2 special climate events. Prime Minister Modi said when it comes to climate action, India has walked the talk.
Friends, आज भारत ने इकोलॉजी और इकोनॉमी के उत्तम संतुलन का उदाहरण विश्व के सामने रखा है। भारत में विश्व की 17% आबादी होने के बावजूद ग्लोबल कार्बन एमिशंस में हमारी हिस्सेदारी ओनली 4% से भी कम है। भारत विश्व की उन कुछ इकोनॉमीज में से एक है जो एनडीसी टारगेट्स को पूरा करने की राह पर है।
You heard him. India accounts for 17% of the global population. But when it comes to emissions, we account for less than 4%, which places India in a unique position, a position of leadership. India is the world's 5th largest economy. It has emerged as the voice of the global south. It is bearing the brunt of climate change, but also leading with climate action. India even offered to host the COP33 summit in 2028.
Friend, Bharat UN फ्रेमवर्क फॉर क्लाइमेट चेंज प्रोसेस के प्रति प्रतिबद्ध है। इसलिए आज मैं इस मंच से 2028 में COP 2028 में COP33 समिट को भारत में होस्ट करने का प्रस्ताव भी रखता हूं।
Now, this is not a well-known fact, but India has hosted a COP summit before. It was the COP8 summit. But COP summits then were a low-key affair. Only climate experts and ministers attended. It was a different time. The world was just waking up to the dangers of climate change. But now the blinkers are off. Alarm bells are ringing, and they're ringing hard, which is why India has assumed an assertive stance in the last few years. At COP21, New Delhi pledged to cut greenhouse emissions, and it has. India has cut emissions by 33% in just 14 years. At COP26, India also announced its target to reach net zero emissions by 2070, a target that Prime Minister Modi reiterated this time as well.
हमारा लक्ष्य 2030 तक एमिशंस इंटेंसिफाई को 45% घटाना है। हमने तय किया है कि नॉन फॉसिल फ्यूल का शेयर हम बढ़ाकर 50% करेंगे और हम 2070 तक नेट जीरो के लक्ष्य की तरफ भी बढ़ते रहेंगे।
At the same COP26, India also launched the International Solar Alliance, a global solar grid. What does it look like? Basically, the sun is always shining in some part of the world. It will produce solar energy. If countries are connected by one grid, they can transfer that power to each other. Simple yet effective. This year at COP28, the Indian Prime Minister launched the Green Credit Initiative. It is focused on creating a carbon sink. How does that work? By encouraging participation of people. India also lauded the COP28 summit this year. The Prime Minister said India and the UAE share a similar vision, calling the nation a partner in a green and sustainable future. So instead of selling false dreams, India is leading at COP summits with concrete plans. It is collaborating with nations like the UAE. It is setting achievable goals and launching initiatives that are not just on paper. Unfortunately, COP summits are more about talk and less about action. This as you know, is the 28th edition of COP. So there have been 27 before, there will be many more in the future, but they tend to follow the same trajectory. The rich overpromise, the poor nations wait for reparations, speeches are applauded, there is political haggling, and in the end, all we have is a statement that no one really abides by. That's not how you tackle climate change. Climate action is the need of the hour, and India is leading the way with its actions.